It's the second week in Advent, and to be 100% transparent, we're, as you might know, a little bit late getting this chat out to you, but Patrick Martin and I are ready to go with a song and a Christmas story. So we'll begin with Patrick singing In the Bleak Midwinter.
Keep sharing.
What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what I
I call this Christmas story the Year of the Sleigh. In Cumberland, Maine, Santa Claus arrives each year with sleigh bells ringing merrily at precisely 7 p.m. on the first Monday in December. He heads into the white New England church on the corner of Main Street as children excitedly stream in behind him. Santa takes his place at the back of the church fellowship hall, and all the children have an opportunity to tell him their Christmas hopes and dreams. When our children, Heather, Patty, and Tim, were young, we took them every year to the festivities. We always arrived early, just in case Santa pulled in before the appointed hour, which he never did. Many other parents did the same. Groups of adults stood about with shoulders hunched against the cold, listening to the high school chorus sing Christmas carols on the church steps. The children, their noses and cheeks bright red, ran round and round the enormous decorated evergreen tree that would be lit at precisely the moment Santa arrived. Sometimes snow covered the lawn. Always the children played an endless game of tag with rules that only they could possibly understand. Their young ears, however, were acutely attuned to the first sound of a siren and their eyes to a glimpse of a flashing light. You see, Santa arrived at the church, smiling and waving, atop a fire truck, having presumably taken the long trip from the North Pole by sleigh. And now this short trip made in great ceremony and style from the fire station just down the road. The children excitedly waved back to the jolly old elf and raced into the church fellowship hall to be first in line to talk with this wonderful symbol of Christmas. You see, everyone knew that this was no deputized elf, or even worse, someone's father parading around in a rented Santa suit. This was the real deal, Santa himself, direct from the North Pole. How could we be sure? Easy. He wore a leather, not plastic, wide black belt with a bronze, but not too shiny buckle. His red suit was worn with age at the elbows and cuffs. He had a bit of a paunch, but definitely not a pillow. And above all, he had a real beard, white and flowing, and a genuine twinkle in his eyes. Somehow, we were always some of the last to see Santa. Boys and girls seemed to emerge from nowhere at the stroke of 7 to be among the first in line for their annual visit. It was not surprising then, after visiting with Santa and feasting on hot cocoa and cookies that the local Lions Club provided, we were among the last to leave. By the time we gathered our coats and mittens, even the odor of freshly popped popcorn had begun to fade. One year, when Patty was small and we were walking toward our car, he looked up at me, his hand clutching mine. "Mom," he announced, "I want to see Santa's sleigh. Not the fire truck, the real sleigh, the one he drove from the North Pole with the reindeer. Can we go and see it on the way home?" I thought quickly and responded as only a mother in crisis can. I told him that I was not sure where the sleigh would be. He answered immediately and confidently. "Oh," he replied, "it's parked behind the fire station, of course." Duh, of course. I was not sure where all of this was going to end up, but I took a deep breath and said that we could at least drive by. We hurried along, though some moments passed before we reached our car and everyone was appropriately settled in car seats and seat belts and ready to go. We drove the short distance to the fire station and pulled into the parking lot. Patty insisted upon getting out of the car, and he disappeared behind the building, only to discover that there was not a sleigh, and certainly not one pulled by reindeer, in sight. Was this the end of Santa Claus for him? Was he crushed? No, he was disappointed, to be sure, but only because we had clearly arrived too late. You see, he told me, Santa had already beaten a hasty retreat to the North Pole to get his elves busy making all those toys that the children in Cumberland hoped to find in their stockings and beneath their Christmas trees on December 25th. We needed to get here earlier next year. For him, it made perfect sense. For me, it was the night I learned that an explanation exists for everything, if you believe. We can believe in Emmanuel, God with us, or we can throw up our hands in despair and conclude that God stopped speaking in this world many eons ago. We can believe that Christmas, even here and even now, can be a season of dreams come true, a season even of miracles when a better world is made possible. Or we can presume that Christmas is no different from any other time, and that this world in all its brokenness is as good as it gets. We can believe in the impossible, as children do, from reindeer harnessed to sleighs parked behind fire stations, to unconditional love and boundless hope. Or we can choose instead to be overcome by the cynicism and jaded realism that so often plagues adulthood. We have a choice in life, you know. I made mine that night Patty disappeared behind the fire station looking for Santa's sleigh. I chose hope and dreams, miracles, and a bit of magic. What about you?